Crisis. We cross to our reporter in Brussels, Jack Parrock. Good evening, Jack, and thank you so much for joining us. Clearly, Greece is racing against time to convince its international creditors that it will deliver tough reforms that they've asked for. But it seems some, particularly Germany, is not convinced that Athens can deliver on its promises. Is this the case?
It does seem to be. The Germans are certainly the hardest and taking the hardest line on the Greeks. But in the meantime as well, the French seem to be more positive. They have helped Greece pen the bailout proposals, and the French President, François Hollande, was very clear that he felt that this temporary exit from the euro for Greece was not on the table. Either they had to stay in and come to a bailout deal today, or the reality of the prospect of Greece leaving the euro would become a reality. So he said that it's got to go one way or another. But the Germans are still playing the hard line. Angela Merkel, on her way in, the German Chancellor, said that the deal needs to come in with the principles of the euro and that the deal would not be done at any cost.
Now, Jack, what does the Greek Prime Minister need to do to regain the trust of all the euro leaders?
Well, this is the question. How can Alexis Tsipras in this meeting rebuild the trust? What he needs to do is prove that he's put together a roadmap, a clear plan for how to implement the reforms that the creditors are demanding in order to get that bailout package. Whether he can do that is really a crucial aspect in whether a deal can be done.
Now, a full summit of 28 leaders was cancelled, which means more delays for the finalising of the deal. What does this mean for Greece? What will happen? Because clearly Greece can't afford this time.
Well, the cancellation of the full EU summit was an interesting development, because basically it could be positive, actually. The full EU summit was put in place for if a Brexit happened, if Greece exited the euro, then they would need aid funding, emergency aid funding, and that would need to come from the 28 EU member states. But reverting it just back to a Eurozone summit, so it was only the 19 members in the Eurozone, made some positivity for a clear deal. Also, the ending of the EU summit of the 28 countries, that could be that potentially the European Council President Donald Tusk felt that there may have been some not so positive influences from some of the other countries that aren't just in the Eurozone. So they're locked into talks now. We've actually just heard that the talks have been suspended just for an hour or so that the Greek Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras, the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, the French President François Hollande, and the European Council President Donald Tusk, so that just those players can have bilateral talks without the other Eurozone leaders there with them.
Jack, unfortunately, we have run out of time. We have to leave it there. And that was our reporter in Brussels, Jack Parrock, joining us.